Feel Good Friday. We feeling great, and that can only mean one thing. It's time for the Friday Frukus.
It's the Friday Frukus.
Right here on Laser 101. DJ Outkast, the girls, them harass.
What's going on, Rasta?
What's going on there, bye?
Where up on?
How was last night?
It was vibes, man.
Kept an eye on my daughter last night, right?
Well, not like that, but
He's so stupid.
not like that.
You know what I meant. Don't get fresh with me. don't make me thump you up.
No, not whatsoever.
Okay, all right. You kept an eye on my daughter, though, last night.
Yeah, she good.
She good.
Nobody hollered.
Yeah, make sure nobody hollered.
No, put your headphones out.
Those scallywags follow her.
None.
Yeah.
None whatsoever.
Exactly. No, I want her riding on the back of T-Max. I want to see my daughter on the back of a T-Max.
That's where you know.
That's what I know. I got
stuff.
Can you see the phone call?
Boy.
Oh, boy, IG Mike, I gotta tell you something, boy.
Yo, let me show vibe
She
there.
had a
now.
great time.
Woo.
Enjoyed her birthday.
Okay, but
She leaving some partner there wearing socks and slippers.
Screaming out Lacoste. That's it. She gone, G. That's it.
she got.
And they were hopping the bike on the way out. She was holding on for dear life. I'm like, bro, me know what to tell you again, you know. I think you need to talk to her, boy. You need an intervention.
Why? You know your friend, right? You know when they start a conversation like
You know
that,
it's your
right?
partner, right?
You know we boys, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell you this if I wasn't your partner.
If I wasn't your friend, I wouldn't tell you this, right?
Last direction, standing ground.
Yeah. They went to the golf course.
Yeah. You're on your own, boy. I tried my best.
I know what to tell you again, boy.
But you know I was playing the records and I had a Biggie song next and I couldn't leave the DJ booth.
Yeah, boy. You know,
I tried to distract him. I play a Zouk song, but
it just made it worse.
I get his attention on the way out when I play Peanut, the real nut.
oh
though.
yeah.
You played Peanut last?
No, of course not.
Somebody's on the payola.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's old school song today. Oh, real fast before we get to our guests in the studio, did you hear about what Twitter's doing now?
What, they let Trump back on?
Did something again? What
They just rolled out.
the Spaces thing.
What? No, it's called. You ready for this one? It's called the tip jar.
The tip jar.
Oh, I heard about this.
It's a new feature on Android and iOS where you can send money directly to your favorite account on Twitter.
Yes, I heard something about this.
Yeah, just so look for the tip jar. Simply tap on it, and basically dollar bill, y'all.
I know Facebook has something similar, but it's like stars. You can send stars, and then the stars equal basically money.
Really?
Yeah.
Eat your heart out.
I think
Cash.
Facebook has something. Instagram has something similar to that as well.
Okay, so it supports Bandcamp, Cash App, PayPal, Vimo. So yeah, you want to send somebody a tweet and I guess whatever else you want to call it.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Oh, and last but not least, for you video game guys, did you know that there's a Hall of Fame for video games?
Yes.
There is?
Yeah, I knew about
That I didn't know.
I did not know
I didn't know
that.
it was that serious.
Yes, there's a Hall of Fame.
It's a Hall of Fame.
A Hall of Fame
like
for video
game
games.
makers and also for certain players that made like historic game scores or whatever. Yeah.
So the World Video Hall of Fame has added 4 classics to its roster today.
Rastafari.
Animal Crossing. Anybody know what that is?
Okay.
Yeah. Animal
What's
Crossing.
Animal Crossing?
It's like a simulated game. You have your own character. You could build your own house and farm and visit.
You have to raise animals.
And all kinds of stuff.
Like chickens and wood slaves.
Yeah, the kids are into it.
Kids are into
They
it.
love it.
Yeah?
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Okay, that's classic. Hall of Fame. StarCraft.
StarCraft. Sounds familiar. I know Star Fox.
Yeah, I know Star Fox.
Yeah.
StarCraft. I would have to see it. Maybe if I see it.
All right. This one I know. Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Oh, yeah.
Only now?
Remember when that came out?
Yeah.
That was the
That should have been in there for years ago.
That was the joy.
And last but not least,
this one too. I know. Where in the world?
it's Carmen Sandiego.
Carmen Sandiego.
Those are games that have to be in there for a long time.
Yeah, they were inducted into the Strong World's Video Game Hall of Fame, which I did not know was in Rochester, New York.
Interesting.
Shout out to RIT, Brockport, and
So we got to take a trip out there, G.
To how far Rochester is?
I'm asking you.
Have you ever been to Rochester?
I can't say that I have. That's what I'm asking. We're going
been to a lot of party schools up there. RIT, and you have a lot of people from St.Maarten South that went to Rochester, RIT and stuff.
So how far is that from like?
If you drive from New York City,
Yeah.
it's like an 8-hour drive.
What?
And it's still in New York.
You're still in New York.
Damn.
You're going upstate New York. You're going past Syracuse. Before you get to Buffalo, you get to Rochester.
You pass
But,
Avengers, you pass the Avengers
let me say
headquarters or
6
what?
hours. I think I might have exaggerated a little bit too much. 6 hours.
You pass Avengers headquarters on the way going
There
upstate New
you
York?
go. You pass Avengers headquarters. Yes. So So there's your Hall of Fame, video game Hall of Fame, which I will not be attending those ceremonies.
I would have liked to go. I
can
would like to see what it's like.
You're all up in West Bubble. You know what? You're just Chocobata. It's far. I mean, don't get me wrong. Rochester's a nice city. There's a lot of factories and stuff up there, and Buffalo also too. But it's cold. They need to butcher coal. They're from Buffalo. They're from Buffalo. Rough buff. Anyway, okay. So I just want to give you those little bit tidbits. All right, it's the Friday Frukus time. We have a guest in the studio. Pull up that microphone to this young lady. She goes by the name of Monique Young. She is a relationship counselor and dating coach from the Netherlands, also known as the Love Doctor. So she's got a no-nonsense approach to dating problems. If anybody has any dating problems, we will open up the phone lines. She's got a bachelor's degree in behavioral analyst. This is the type of person you just can't date. You know what I'm saying? Because
she finds everything wrong.
She knows what's wrong already before you say it. So you're sulking on the couch. She's like, "Hey, what's wrong?" You don't say nothing. She know, like, I know already. Let me tell you what's wrong. And like, nah, I might be.
You might be.
So she's got years of experience as a couples counselor and family coach. Welcome to the show,
Thank you very
Nicole.
much.
What's going on?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm good. So how do one becomes a relationship counselor, or why do you become a relationship counselor?
You know, I stumbled.
First
into
question, wait,
it.
before you get into that, this is the question I wanted to ask this morning.
Is she in a relationship?
Is she in a relationship?
I am not in a relationship.
So how could you give advice?
Why would you have to be in a relationship to give relationship advice?
Because you know what to expect. You've been through it, you know.
Exactly. You know the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Exactly.
So
You've had your experiences.
But I've been in a relationship.
So you've been, but you're currently right now.
Yes, and I give advice to people in a relationship, but also people who are not in a relationship and want to be in a relationship.
Okay, so currently you're not in a relationship.
Currently, I'm
But
not
that's
in a
kind of that's like.
So you're the problem.
So why would you say that?
I'm just
No,
kidding.
why would you think that? That's interesting.
Nah, just something like humor. But
You
okay.
see, you would be someone I would love to talk to.
Hello. Cross the legs.
Okay.
Hey, what you doing?
The show's been brought to you by Nabisco.
No, my girl's not listening. Let me be here. She's like, "Oh, who you have today? Oh, I will listen."
She said that?
Yeah. She said, "I'm listening."
Ooh, I usually don't listen to your show.
Yeah, but I'm gonna listen today.
But I'm gonna listen today.
I told you.
How did that make you feel?
Who, me?
Yeah, because she like, she don't listen to you, but you gonna listen today.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Do you ever tell her that she's the problem?
No.
You're the problem?
I wouldn't say I am the problem, but I am part of the problem.
You're
I
part
can
of
be
it.
part of the problem.
Why would you say that?
Damn. What?
Yeah, see,
Am I making you nervous?
she snuck right in the back door
I'm staying out of this
when you
one.
at least expected it.
Nope, I'm
She
staying
didn't
out of
ask
this
none
one.
of the questions about herself. She just goes straight to me.
And you ended up on the couch.
I know, right?
But continue though. But continue
What
though.
was the question again?
Why would you say that?
Why would I say that? I mean, I have some tendencies that might be, normal to me, but other people, they might not like those tendencies or whatever. I'm usually brutally honest, straightforward, and sometimes I just like to, keep to myself. I'm not the very talkative, show a lot of emotional type, but it doesn't mean that
He's a
I can't
Virgo.
be. I'm a Virgo.
You're a Virgo.
I'm a Virgo.
Team Virgo.
There you go. Okay.
Oh, now you're best friends.
We're compatible.
Oh, now y'all best friends.
Let's go to GR to Outkast.
Nah, I'm
He's
staying out of this.
He's Team Virgo. So
I'm
he
staying
can
out
do-
of this.
Outcast pick up your phone one time.
Nope, leave me out of this one.
He can do no wrong.
Outcast's wife Zodiac is Dominican, so
Oh. Okay.
stay far away.
Is she listening?
No, she's on the job.
Okay.
Yes, she's working drive-through today.
Okay, but I'm not going there. I'm gonna leave you alone.
Yeah, please leave me out. Please leave me out. of
Outcast
this.
was like, do. Okay, so what tends to be the number one problem when it comes to relationships?
Communication.
I knew that was kind of like a dumb question, but I just wanted to see if you was gonna say what I had in mind.
Of
Communication.
course, communication. Men communicate different than women.
What they say, men are from Mars.
Women are from Venus, yeah.
So why do women think that we can read their minds?
Because they think they can read your mind.
Oh.
So you're supposed to be able to read their minds.
Uh-huh.
And communication, like I said, communication is the main thing in a relationship. But also when you're dating, because people think it starts in a relationship, like good communication.
Right.
But you have to communicate well before you even get into a relationship. When you start dating, because people tend to make themselves look better and sound better when they start dating. And then by the time they, and
then when they move in, it's a whole different story.
but that's the thing. Everything and your point of reference. Like, you tell them about your life, when you start dating, tell them about your life, tell them what you've been through. You don't have to tell them everything. Like, what made you who you are, because not everybody is the same. So you have to know how someone thinks in order to take the next step.
Now, how do couples deal with the cupcake stage? Because that's what they say. Like, when people start dating, they first start talking to each other, then they get together. Everything is nice. They call it the cupcake stage. But then after a couple of...
I did not know that.
Yeah, after a couple of months, it starts to... People get accustomed
turns into
to
a
each
stale
other,
brownie.
And it just, I like that one, the stale brownie.
Turns into a stale brownie.
Yeah.
But so again, the question?
So the question is, what happens there, or why does that happen, or how can couples, get over that? Because a lot of them complain, he's not the same, or she doesn't do the same things like they did in the beginning.
True.
It gets boring. It becomes a routine.
Right. So, but why would you have to get over the cupcake stage? Why would you not try to keep the cupcake stage? Try to keep it alive. Try to stay. You don't have to stay in love, but love up on each other. Like make sure that the other person feels acknowledged, respected, loved, So some people just, because they're in the same relationship and you have your daily life and you get distracted by everything, you tend to not pay as much attention to your partner as you should. So I think it starts there. So don't skip the cupcake stage.
Right.
Just stretch it out.
Okay.
As long as you can. Are you still in the cupcake stage?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, so... Yeah. Do you like the cupcake stage?
I've never heard of this before.
I like the cupcake stage, yeah. But then, sometimes you get busy.
Right.
You get busy, like you said, and your focus is on other things. Sometimes bills come into play. You have the whole pandemic. Priorities start to change.
The distractions.
Right.
Yeah. And right now we live in a world of social media. There are so many platforms that can distract you.
Right.
So then you tend to lose focus on your own little world. So it's important to communicate and tell each other, okay, I feel that I need some more attention, or I feel that we need to go back to that certain place. So you have to keep working on the relationship. And that's the hardest part. To keep working on the relationship and to keep it interesting. Because it's way too easy these days to just find something else.
So what would be your suggestions to keep a relationship interesting?
It might sound very boring, but still communicate. Talk to each other. Tell each other how you feel.
What if you have someone who just doesn't communicate in a relationship? Like someone that's not really their thing.
Then you have to find a way. You have to study your partner, But that's something you actually know from the get-go, if a person communicates or not. And it's up to you if you find it important or not. There are people who don't find it important that their partner tells them everything. And they're just cool with that. They just be like, okay, well, that's how he is. Okay, that's how she is. And that's cool. But if you're not that person, you have to tell that from the get-go.
But sometimes you would get that in a person in the beginning stage to impress you, to get your attention.
True.
They talk, they do the flashy things, they go out for dinner and everything. Then once they basically get the cookie, as we say, then it becomes stale. Then they turn into who they actually really are.
Well, then it's all just fake. It's all just make-believe, and you just get the fuck out.
There you go. That's the Holland in you.
Okay, then.
That's the Amsterdam coming out.
All right.
we gotta try.
Let me see. We gotta get a call here. Laser. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. This is with the cupcake question just asked. So when it comes to that, a lot of people tend to put on a persona to get someone, and then cannot keep the persona, which causes the cupcake stage to crumble. But during this time, I tell people, if you go into a relationship, do not try to impress the person to show them who you are on a regular. Because you cannot be an introvert acting to be an extrovert. That's not you. It's not going to work.
True.
You're so accustomed to being that person, and trying something new changes who you are. So that's why the cupcake still be nice, sweet, but then when you cannot keep it up, or when you're not feeling comfortable doing those type of things, causes it to crumble completely, even though you have communication with a person.
Right.
Definitely.
Sound like you've been there, huh?
Not really been there, but just how she said, even though she's single, she's able to give a lot of advice. And just, I'm a person that's very observant. So when it comes to those type of things, I see those things a lot. And I'm a person from the beginning of relationship, I'm straightforward. I'll explain who I am, how I do my thing, how I live. And that's it. I'm not going to try to change my routine that often for a person. Because some people get into a relationship and they want to press the person so much, they change their whole life and everything to a point they cannot keep up to, and they feel uncomfortable. And then you know the whole relation crumbles apart because you're doing things you don't do, you don't know how to do this. Especially if you're introvert. A lot of people understand when someone's an introvert, they're not active. They're not
right.
socializing. You know, they're more person of, they probably go to work or home, school to home, and they don't do a lot of activities.
Right.
And when it comes to the point that a person meets that person and like they try to change them into someone they're not, it's not going to work. Because originally, you didn't follow.
Hello?
We lost him. Credit.
I think so.
Done.
Yeah, but I think what he wanted to say, you know, you ended up falling in love with the person that you weren't really, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's important to be yourself, to stay honest and to be yourself, you know. Make sure that they know who you are. And like he says, he observes. And sometimes not saying anything and just observing, listening to the person is the most important thing, because you will know. Sometimes when someone is an introvert, like he said, you have to study the person, their behavior, because their behavior tells a lot too, you know? So, yeah, he was right. He was on point.
Okay. What about the phrase opposite attract? Do you believe in that?
I mean, it might be. You know, like I said, the point of reference is what makes you fall in love with someone. So sometimes it's the complete opposite. But then when you go back to the history, it's not the complete opposite. It could be a very ladylike woman, you know, with several degrees, but she's from the street. And eventually she wants, you know, someone from the street. The street comes out.
Yeah.
And that's her heart. So you might think it's an opposite that attracts her, but it's actually what she knows,
she's
you know?
to.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, how much does zodiacs play in relation?
Well, I've done a study on zodiacs and dating, and I have to say there are similarities when it comes to zodiacs.
Really?
So there are certain things, when you say, like you and I, we are both Virgos.
Right.
So even me, as a love doctor, I have a problem with communicating my emotions, right? That's something very Virgo-like. So I know that when I meet a Virgo, that probably is the case. 9 out of 10 times. It's not always like that, but 9 out of 10 times. So when it's a Libra, what are you, G?
A Libra.
A Libra.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So Libra has certain tendencies as well, you know. So yeah, every zodiac sign has certain character traits.
But that also applies to like when you're matching up zodiacs, like, you know, Virgos, Aquarius, Scorpios.
Yeah, there are certain zodiacs that are very compatible, but it's not because of the zodiac sign, because of their character traits.
Okay. Okay. Let me take a phone call. Laser, good afternoon. Laser, good afternoon. Hold on. Laser, good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon, dude.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This just sounds random. I didn't get the name of the love doctor. What's your name?
My name is Monique Young.
Okay, I've been listening to you guys speak for a while. I agree with what most of you guys saying, but the reason I'm calling, I just wanted to say that you have a very soothing voice. That's the only thing I'm thinking while listening to you guys.
Thank you so much.
Would you have a question?
No, just wanted to say.
Are you in a relationship?
No, I am not.
Oh, okay. That's why she.
Are you dating?
No, I'm keeping to myself. From experiences I hear most of the people talking about, I don't think I want that kind of headache right now. So I'm just right now.
I think you need to talk with me, Monique Young.
Okay, no, I'll try to remember that then.
All right.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
All right.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
So what brought you to St. Maarten? How did you end up here?
I have family here. if I didn't have my family here, I probably wouldn't end up here and wouldn't like discover this diamond.
Maybe you have a man here. It could be. No.
I mean, I haven't been here long enough. So how is dating life out here?
Let's say one more. We're gonna get to that. Laser, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi. I just wanted to stay on top of the subject that the thing is, I'm going to put it on the guys that when they put in effort on getting someone, they need to keep that same effort inside of the relationship. That's the problem. Because they're working very hard to get the lady, and then when they get the lady, it's like, don't need to put that work in anymore, So that was just my thing.
It's true, but it works both ways, because there are a lot of women who also act like they would do a lot of things for the man himself, and then, when they end up together, it works both ways. Like, stay true from the beginning. If you suck, just tell them like, hey, yo, I'm lazy or I'm whatever. So, because they'll find out anyway.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for calling.
All right.
Thank you.
But most people are not going to be honest up front and say, I'm so dirty and lazy. I hate to wash dishes. I'm a mess. I don't like. You're not going to.
I think it's a generation thing. People in their 20s or the youngsters, they won't easily say that. But like, I think everything of us, they will be honest about, their trades because they don't want the headache.
And also with social media, everything is a front also. People portray what usually they do not.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Laser, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi.
Hi.
Go ahead.
That's why there's a lot of problems in dating. St.Maarten.
Why?
A lot of horning.
He's right, though.
But we need to get to the root of it. Why do we horn? Why is the
woman
horn
horn a lot, but
the woman that horn a lot? The women horn a lot.
And why do they horn?
I don't know why.
You don't know. They just do.
I don't know why.
Would you advise me to?
St.Maarten a little bit.
Would you advise me to date in St. Maarten?
It depends if you meet me.
He's throwing it out there.
Ring the bell.
He said ring the bell. He's telling me to ring the bell. Oh, yeah. So if... He's gone. Okay, and another call? Okay. Where were we? Had a question. She had a question for us.
Dating in St. Maarten.
Yeah, what's dating life like in St.
The caller
Maarten?
just cleared that up.
A little bit.
First of all, you have to find out if you guys are related, because the island is very small. That's the main thing. Because you find out.
You know that your cousin.
Yeah.
Laser, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You just sent out our contact information, social media. So, people
you want to
who
contact?
want to get in, want to speak to them, and they could contact us.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. All of that. Don't worry.
We got her social media, her website, all of that.
I appreciate that.
All right, all that. Okay, so back to the question again, Super Kid.
Dating on St. Maarten. So yeah, first you have to find out if you guys are not related, if you're not family, and then if you are, you have to find out how far removed you are.
Second cousin, third cousin, fourth cousin.
Yes,
right. You got to find out that
if it's diluted enough, and then if you're comfortable, then you shoot your shot.
Yeah, but also to people are going to be in your business though.
Yes. That
it's
is
a small
true.
island, so it's not like Holland, where it's the big metropolitan city, or New York. People will be in your beeswax.
So what I have heard, I don't know if it's true, is that dating life in St. Maarten is very sex oriented and not love oriented.
I would agree.
So
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Who told you that?
I've done my research.
I've never heard that before.
I've been asking people like, what is dating life like on the island here, and they were like, yeah, it's very sex oriented. Like women expect that the first thing they're gonna do is sex, or that's the only thing that they're gonna do. So that's what their mind is focused on. And for men, it's like, if she's no fun, I'll go to the next. Right. Or I will have like several women. That's like the vibe of the island. That's what I was told.
The village ram, yeah, basically.
So that's true?
Sex. I would say sex is at the top of the list when it comes to what they're looking for. Especially when it comes to the men, yes, sex is that priority, that drive. For the women, it's I would say it's at the top of the list. It might not be number one on the list because of course they're looking for love, they're looking for stability, but they also want to make sure that he's great in the bed.
Stability.
Right.
That might be number 2 on the list.
Yeah, right?
So what I've also heard is that it's common knowledge that men have several women, but that when a woman has several men, or sees several men, that they're looked down. They look down on their women.
I think that's everywhere.
What do you call him, G? A trollop?
But
yeah, dirty foot, rat. Yeah, I mean that's everywhere in the world.
Okay, but
I think that's everywhere.
Yeah,
it's a double-edged. Yeah,
but like in a Western society, women are out in the open with that. They'll be like, "Hey, I can date whoever I want."
Yeah.
But what I've noticed is that women don't talk about dating several men here because they're looked down on. But do you think they do it as much as the men out here? Because the thing is, women talk.
I can't. Oh yeah.
Women talk. Men don't talk. So
no,
we
talk. We talk, but we don't talk as much as women. Men talk, but we don't talk as much.
All right.
Like we like men talk, but we don't. Like we won't get down to like the nitty gritty. Like y'all go into every detail. Like you know what I'm saying?
You got a mole here.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, women will go more into detail and men will just be like, "Boy, yeah, man. Boy, man, I mashed that thing up last night there by myself."
Oh, you do that, yeah?
Yeah. That'll be it. Like but then women will go more. Am I right?
I think you're right. Yeah.
5'4", 37, 101. Am I right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's interesting.
Yeah. But is there anything wrong with any of those things that we brought up, or?
If there's anything wrong with it, no. I think it's the culture. I think it's a cultural thing. But I think that especially people from outside of St. Maarten who want to come visit St. Maarten, they might think that it's the same as, anywhere else that they're going. But the island life is just different. Dating life on the island is different. Because, I am here privately as well. So they ask me, like, have you been dating? Have you been seeing guys or whatever, And, well, I have not. But, I have done my research, and I have my family here, so I talk to them as well. And it's just another culture than what we're used to in the States or in the Netherlands, So it's interesting.
You kind of like scare me to the point. You're like, I did my research.
Yeah,
like you pull out all these pie graphs and charts and index and. It's like, I'm going on vacation to Tahiti. We got to do our research first.
Know the people and my name.
Yes, you got to crunch the numbers and
Of course.
Laser, good afternoon.
Yeah, the lady was talking, she said she ain't dated a guy or she ain't seen a guy. Not yet.
Wait, what'd he say?
So he said
I haven't dated yet.
Yeah.
Is what he's saying.
Oh, so he's waiting.
He's waiting, I guess, for you to come on the show like 4 weeks from later. Be like, boy, I'm moving here, boy. Boy, where you living? I'm moving Dutch Quarter.
Back on T-Max. Laser, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
For the lady on the phone speaking that she enjoyed Suppa, yes, right?
She hasn't.
Let's swing by $30 later.
Oh, you Lord.
What is that?
Check me by $30 later.
So I'm just saying, the women that are calling have like questions and compliments. The
all
guys
shooting their shot.
They don't even know how she looks.
Do you feel like when it comes to dating, like meeting, how important is game? And when I mean game, I mean their pickup game, their talking game. When it comes to men and women, is that important? Do you feel that's important?
It is important. It is important because you have to come correct, and you have to really know how to come. So.
Hello. Not Jesus Suppa.
I mean, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
I guess it's a Virgo. Oh, you a Virgo too, Outkast?
I am.
Oh, wow, Team Virgo here.
There we go. We got 3 of them.
Oh, jeez.
G's kind of on the cusp.
On the cusp.
On the cusp.
So it's
Well, my
like
birthday's close. I'm 1 day away, so
it's 3.5 Virgos.
I get a little bit of Virgo traits.
Virgos are actually the hardest to date. We are like number 1 in the list.
Are you
of
just saying
dating.
that because you're a Virgo?
No, I'm saying that because it's actually true.
Yeah, I know all my girlfriend, my exes, they're clapping right now. I told yes, preach, lady, preach. Talk to him.
Yeah.
It says in his head.
It is. Okay, so what's the easiest sign to date?
I think the easiest, what was it? Like, I think it was Aquarius.
Okay.
I think it was Aquarius.
Why Aquarius?
They're kind of easygoing. They understand a lot of things.
They go with the flow.
They go with the flow, yeah. So I think that's the reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And Pisces. They tend to be very empathic, feel other people's feelings. So people like that too.
Okay. Laser, good afternoon. Laser, good afternoon.
Hey, G, it's soothing voice compliments again. I'm just going to tell the love doctor, thank you for bringing up Aquarius. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh,
wow. You're welcome. You're welcome.
And what zodiac sign do you like to date?
But G, you asked me earlier. I said I'm not messing with anybody.
So you're trying to tell me in your whole existence on this planet Earth, you've never dated anybody?
Okay, fine. My favorite is Aquarius as well. What can I say?
I can't imagine. Because it has to be hard.
We're pretty easy to get along with.
But
yes, you are.
The love doctor told me to ask you, why aren't you dating?
This generation is not very oriented on dating to marry, and if I am dating anyone, it's with the intent to get married.
Okay. So it's true what they're saying is that this island is very sex oriented?
I cannot speak on the island. I just know, like, for the generation, I don't get around enough on the island per se to say that.
All right.
But just I know from people my age, that's not really what's on their mind.
Okay. And how old are you? Just curious. Age bracket?
23.
23. Okay.
All right. That was a long time ago for me. 23.
Well, you're still finding yourself. So enjoy. Just enjoy.
Try my best. All right. You guys have a good afternoon again.
Thank you.
She sounds a little sad though. She's like, I'll try my best. Yeah, I'm not dating right now.
Also with the zodiac signs, they also put them in categories. So you have like earth signs, fire signs, water signs. Right. Are they also compatible with each other, or how does that work as well?
I mean, that's a little complicated because you also have like another sign, that you're born in.
The moon rising in the house and all of that stuff.
So I was born in Scorpio, so I have a fire sign actually. So that's also a side of me. So that's complicated. That's like a whole different topic. But yeah, no, it's earth signs and water signs, they go well together. But earth signs can go well with Scorpios as well.
Right.
So I mean, it depends on character traits again.
Laser, good afternoon.
My question is, why do people try to dump whatever happened in the past relationship on the new relationship?
What? Sorry, again?
Basically, for instance, if a girl, right, she was in a relationship before and it was a bad relationship, or the guy have done her bad, and when she enters to a new relationship,
right,
you automatically presume that the guy she's with right now would do the same thing as the guy.
Right, that's very hard.
Why? Why do women do that?
It's not only women who do that.
Generally do that.
It's not only women who do that, because men carry around a lot of baggage as well. Men get hurt too. They have feelings, so they could not trust their new partner as well. And why would they do that? I mean, I don't think they do that on purpose. They just carry the load with them, and I think it's because they haven't healed from their previous relationship yet. They haven't found themselves back yet from the previous relationship. So they take whatever they found there and they just bring it to the other relationship without even knowing. And that's to protect themselves.
It's a form of being cautious.
Yeah,
also.
they're being cautious. They want to protect themselves. They don't want it to happen to them again. So it's not fair to the new partner, but it's something that a lot of people do. And the only advice that I would give is like heal from a relationship. Take at least 3 to 9 months off before you even start dating seriously again.
They're like, it sounds easy to you.
I mean, dating.
To that is that even though if the person you're with right now is a complete opposite from you and tries to help you to heal, right? Even if it costs that you guys have to break a relationship to give you time to heal. Is that right? Is that a good thing to do or a bad thing to do?
It's not a bad or a good thing to do, because you have to protect yourself. So you have to find the comfort zone within that. Like, if you want to keep dating her, but keep a little distance to protect yourself from getting hurt, you can do that. But just find your own balance in it,
All right.
Thanks for calling.
And like you mentioned earlier, communication. But here's another C word that comes into play a lot in relationships: compromising. What are your thoughts or feelings on that?
I think that's a difficult thing, compromising, because compromising has a negative sound to it. You know, it sounds like I have to compromise something that I want,
Right.
you know, in order to keep my relationship healthy. So I think compromising and communication goes hand in hand, because if you're not happy compromising something, you have to communicate about it.
Right.
But if you feel comfortable, another C word, in compromising, then you're good, you know? So sometimes it pays off to compromise, but if it doesn't, in the end, it'll come out anyway.
Right.
And you'll be unhappy, and then, you know, you end up divorcing or breaking up anyway.
Right.
Okay. Now, when you're in Holland, you also do this on air too? Or?
Yes.
So you
and in the UK.
Oh, and
in
the
London,
UK.
And the UK, yeah.
Okay, so do you have like a website that people can go to, or
Not right now because of the pandemic. I used to do seminars, you know, event seminars, and because of the pandemic, I couldn't do that. So right now, they're busy on my website because everything is going to be online. So we're going to do everything online, webinars and stuff like that. But I do, and I'll send it to you once it's on.
Would you think about maybe doing something here in St. Maarten, maybe like a, you know?
Would you like me to?
I don't know, 5437101.
No.
I mean, you're getting a lot of calls right now.
I would love to.
I mean, yeah, you know, maybe
I would love to.
Do you do like one-on-one sessions also though? Like people, do they call you and say, listen, we have issues in the relationship?
Yes, a lot. And what I found very unique is that I don't get any questions about cheating. Every country I do a radio show in, I get asked about cheating.
Laser.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes.
And about what G-Money said just now, I mean, we're doing some event in St.Maarten. Just like some people can just like send a video of them and saying, okay, what are they looking for in a person? And if you think you fit in that category, you can go to that event and meet people, and maybe you might find a soulmate right there.
Well, we are actually busy planning an event for later this year about communication and understanding men and women and the way they communicate. The name of the event is What Women Think and What Men Mean.
I love that.
So, yeah, you're gonna hear more about it.
All right, then. I'll be tuning in.
All right.
All right, thank you.
So you're gonna do this on the web?
No,
in
actually
live.
in person.
In
live.
person?
Yeah.
What?
Because everything's open here in the Netherlands. We have this lockdown, so we can't have our physical events. So everything has to be online. But over here, we can do that. So I can actually interact with my audience.
At least at 2:00 in the morning.
I mean, you know.
Pretty much.
Now you get, like you mentioned, cheating just now. Sometimes when you do talk about cheating, you always hear the question, why do men cheat? And if women cheat, why do they cheat? And women cheat better than men, and women cheat more than men. You hear different arguments.
I think the question I get the most is, how do I get over someone who cheated on me? Because people are so hurt, and all they want is not to feel that betrayal no more.
Right.
So they don't even want to know why. They want to know, how do I get over the feeling of, the betrayal, because they want to move on. But like the guy said, some people haven't moved on from betrayal, and they take it to their next relationship,
So what would you say? I mean, not to give away all your secrets, but because to get over an ex is very difficult, especially here in St. Maarten, because it's such a small island.
Right.
So you go to the club, you go to the store, you're going to run into that person no matter where you go.
Right.
So what?
Or you run into the person they cheated on you with.
Yeah, that's
another thing too.
What I always say is that do whatever makes you feel good. Because some people are like,
yeah, but I'll get arrested if I take a bat.
whatever. I mean, you can find a bat and hit a wall or hit a tree if that makes you feel good. Of course, you're not going to go out, hitting people. But some people are like, finding a rebound is a wrong thing to do. Finding a rebound and get into a relationship with a rebound, that is not a smart move.
Yeah, that's what you see here a lot.
Finding a relationship, but finding a rebound to have sex with, to spend time with, I mean, if that makes you feel good and get over stuff, do it as much as you want. You're looking at me like...
But then you're going to get a label. Look at her. She's with another guy again. You know?
Okay, but, I mean, isn't that life?
True.
Aren't you supposed to take care of you?
True.
So
business.
People talk about you regardless.
Yeah,
True.
that's what we just discussed. Like women are talked down on because they do things that men also do. But at the end of the day, you have to do what makes you feel good, because you cannot be the right partner for your man if you're not happy, and if you lead this secret life because you can't be who you want to be because people will talk about you. The truth will come out in the end eventually, always.
Truth shall set you free.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So how long are you going to be here on the island for?
I'm going to leave on the 14th, but I'm going to be back in August.
So say if somebody says, you know what, I want like a private one-on-one session with me and my girlfriend or me and my wife.
They could.
They can contact you?
Yeah, they can contact me.
So how can they contact you?
I'm going to leave all my info for y'all, and that you can like get it out there. But Instagram, Monique Young, that's where they can find me first.
Okay.
And when everything is up, then they can find me again on The Love Doctor International.
Okay, so for now, it's Instagram,
Monique Young.
They could slide in your DM.
They could. They could.
And you work on Phonics as well, right?
Phonics,
the Netherlands.
Yes, I do.
And what is your schedule? Your show schedule?
Right now, because I have been doing a lot of other things. So right now, normally I will do it like once every 2 weeks, once every month. So I'm trying to go back to once every 2 weeks because I have a lot to talk about, especially during this pandemic.
Especially after this trip to St.Maarten, right?
I mean, come on.
After this trip to St.Maarten, let me tell you, Holland.
This pandemic has done a lot to people and their relationships. Let me tell you, at the beginning of the pandemic, I would have like 4 to 5 like consults a day because people were almost trying to kill each other, literally.
I mean, we had a lot of news about that in the newspaper too.
Yeah, it was crazy because they weren't used to being together for so long in one
now
space.
We're actually in the same space.
Yes, and now they were like, "Wow, look at her! Oh, I want to kill her." And he was like, "Yo," she was like, "Yo, you know, what would happen if I would just do this or that?" Like crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how you see that people do not communicate in their relationships because they haven't been happy for a long time, and they find out when they're in the same room together for so long.
What are other factors that can sometimes cause controversies in relationships besides the cheating and the communication? Other things like maybe financial, maybe
ego.
Oh, interesting.
Really?
Ego, yeah. Let's say a woman finds out what's out there. She starts to work on herself, her body, to feel better. But sometimes
she starts going gym.
The ego grows with it, and she feels like, okay, I take better care of myself, so you have to take better care of me now.
Oh, like that.
So yeah, and the other way around, of course. When a man finds out, like, hey, I get all this attention because I go to the gym. Women give me the attention. They be like, yo. Huh? It's a privilege for you, wife, to be with me now. So you have to treat me differently, So ego can be in a way.
I would have never thought about that one.
No,
that's a good one. Communication, ego.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Well, what about finances? Does that play a role too? Sometimes you would have one person as a breadwinner. You see that a lot. A lot of men also are intimidated by women that make more money than them.
It's true.
Is that true though? Really?
I think
you find that a lot.
I think it's less in Western society, but let's say Black culture. Men could still think like, okay, I have to be the provider, So it's part of my job, especially when you're from the older generation. So when a woman makes more money, she tends to have independent character as well. So it's hard to push through that because they tend to not show as much feelings anymore because they're like, hey, I can do anything on my own. So yeah, it could be hard, but that's something that you have to tackle from the get-go.
And we notice a lot now women are less submissive to their partners.
Of course,
women, like you said, are getting more confident.
Of course. But that's why we have the social media with 1 trillion self-help groups for women. And just recently, let's say last 5 years, we have the self-help groups for men. So the men are behind with that when it comes to self-help and self-care, especially the Black man, because they're not used to talking about their feelings, So yeah, I think that women are women are empowered more than men, you know. So
how important is it when it comes to the bedroom in a relationship?
How important?
Well, yeah, because some people might think it's not important. Like, okay, yeah, I'm just here for boom, 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 and that's it.
Who thinks that? There are people.
There are people.
There are people who would think that, but I think, and especially these days, I think it's very important. Sex is very important because sex is everywhere these days. So even if it wasn't important to you, you're surrounded with so much sex that it'll tickle you. So I think it's important for a lot of people, even the ones who say it's not the most important thing in a relationship, which it's not. It could be a breaking point if something changes sexually.
Okay.
And what about bringing extra things into the bedroom?
I was waiting for you to say that.
During sex, because some men get intimidated, or they feel like a woman doesn't need a vibrator because they feel that he might get ousted and she might be more into the toy than him.
He might get kicked to the curb.
Right.
Yeah, I think if a man already has his doubts, low key, if he gives his woman enough pleasure, and if he doesn't know enough about satisfying his woman and how the female body works, I think it would make you insecure. Yes. But otherwise, if men know, like, I please my woman, I know how her body works, and I would love for her to enjoy herself with something extra, I think that's the difference. Like, how are you as a man? How do you feel about your sexuality, and are you confident about how you perform? So I think it's about being comfortable in your own sexuality.
Right.
Okay.
That's right. Do what you can do. Don't look at these porn films, adult films, and I think you gotta follow that. Because that messes up a lot of relationships too. You have your views or ideas of what sex should be like because you're influenced by music and television and movies and everything.
So we actually have a seminar. It's called Porn Sex versus Real Sex.
Right.
Because the new generation, especially the new generation, was brought up with porn sex.
Right.
Because you can find it everywhere. So they think it's very normal to have a certain type of sex.
Right.
And that's how they treat the one they have sex with. And it's a problem because there's a lot of young women walking around thinking that it's very, I don't know if I can say it here, but it's very normal to have anal sex, for example. So there are a lot of young women walking around not enjoying.
Sorry, what was that?
That's me. Sorry.
Not enjoying sex, but they're doing it because they think they have to.
That's
because
the norm.
It's the norm, and because they see what young men say on the internet, like, oh, we want this, we want that, we do this, we do that, So it's
and the music too. The music glorifies rough sex and all of that.
Of course, yeah. So they don't know the old school R&B sex.
Laser, good afternoon. Oh, they hung up.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So it's a problem. I think it's a problem, and I think it has to be brought up, like from teenage age.
Laser, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. You see, with that same topic, there's something a lot of people don't understand. When it comes to that, and especially when it comes to the bedroom, communication is key because it makes no sense to do anything if you're not comfortable with your partner.
Right.
For instance, like how she mentioned the anal sex, a lot of women think that's what they should do when they're not supposed to. When it comes to sex, a lot of people say, oh, you don't need communication. No, you do need communication because you would want to satisfy it in a way by making her feel comfortable, do things that she likes, do things that she feel like,
Ask her how she feels. Do you like this? How does this feel?
Right.
It comes the same way around for the man. Because if you pleasure her, she pleasures you at the same time, then you get enjoyed. It's not about something you just come to do and get overweight.
Yeah.
That's the thing about the new generation right now because they make sex overrated.
Right. Well, yeah, I think they're brought up different. They see things in the media, and it's never about talking. It's never about communicating during sex. It's always about doing, not talking, just doing. Use the body to get your pleasure, and communication is actually the first thing you should do when you start having sex.
And sex is supposed to feel good, not hurt.
Exactly. Well, it can hurt, but
in a good way.
In a good way.
Do you come across nowadays a lot of these? What do you call these relationships where more than one person, everybody?
Oh, the polygamy and the polyamory and all that.
Right.
Is that like the new trend now, or
it's not a trend, a new trend. I think it's I think more people just are open about it.
to it.
Yeah, more open to it. You have open relationships. You have polygamy. You have all these names for it. But in the end, it's just, being in a relationship and wanting to be free and be open-minded. You can call it whatever you want, but it's just you having sex with several people and giving a name to it.
What about those that you tend to see, especially it was a time here in St.Maarten where you would have a lot of the girls, they would be in a relationship with a guy, break up with the guy, and then they end up with the girl, and then now they're saying that they're bisexual. That doesn't work out. They go back to a guy and back and forth, ping pong and whatever. And they know they're not really attracted, I would say, to a female, but they do like the attention that they're getting. However, they claim to be bisexual or whatever. I don't know.
But what is strange about that?
I don't know why it started to happen. If it was a trend or maybe they just thought
it's not a trend. It's not a trend.
Right.
It's always been like that. And it like I said, it's more out in the open now. It's more accepted right now. You can say like, okay, I have a girlfriend and a boyfriend, or I have sex with women and with men. But women have always found it nice to do. Always find it nice to have attention from other women. It's a physical process, like men. Homosexuality, bisexuality has always been there.
Right.
So it's more out in the open now, but it's always been there. And it's women are more, especially these days, are more like, okay, I want to do what feels good for me, and I don't want to feel ashamed for it. So they're more out in the open. Right. But if you ask a woman my age, I'm in my 40s, so if you ask a woman my age, have you ever had a as a young girl? I go back 20 to 30 years, and I would say yes too. But we didn't talk about that. Because if you would say something about that,
right,
you're ashamed for that. But now it's a very normal thing.
Yeah. But I'm not saying that if you are homosexual or bisexual, I understand that. But some used to do it just for the attention, just to say I'm a part of this group.
I mean, some would do because it's a trend. Some would.
That's what.
Yeah, some would. But I do believe that a lot of people really enjoy it. I do believe that. And especially men, the group of men who are bisexual is getting bigger and bigger. I don't know if you've heard, it's in every country. I don't know if it's the same on the island, that women have to expect that men have sex with other men as well. Right. That's the thing.
Times have changed.
Interesting.
Expect it.
Right.
Yeah,
Monique Love.
Dr. Love. If you have a question for her, 5437101 before she leaves, 5437101. And once again, your Instagram, in case anybody is listening, wants to get in contact with you, they want to do a little private session.
Monique Young.
Monique Young.
I am Monique Young.
So you're the only Monique Young on Instagram.
I am Monique Young. If they say I am Monique Young,
okay,
they will find me.
Okay.
All right.
Now back to the original question that you asked, G. How did she actually get into all this? Because we never got to that.
I used to be a behavior analyst. I have a degree in behavior analysis. I used to be a couples counselor and a family coach. And then one day, one of my old colleagues asked me if I could do a seminar for women who were abused in a relationship, but these were women who had a low income, so they couldn't pay for any help or therapy or whatever. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this, for this group of people. And the first one was such a success that they asked me to do a couple more. And at one of these seminars, one of the visitors was a woman who lived at the other side of the country and was actually someone who came from the richer part, but especially there were a lot of divorces. So she was like, we deal with a lot of divorces. We came up with a lot of money, but we're still damaged. So we want these seminars as well. So I started doing it for them. And then there was this woman who worked for TV and radio, and she was like, yo, you need to do this for radio and TV because this is so dope. You're so no nonsense. You just say it like it is. And that's how I ended up. And Phonics actually named me the Love Doctor.
Oh, okay.
That's so, it's not my own.
Well, it's got to be difficult for you in a relationship with the guy because he's like, you probably got them all figured out before.
Yeah, well,
I mean, like it's got to like do something to their ego, like they know who you are.
I don't.
They're listening to you on the radio, and then when you sit down, you go to dinner with them. You're like reading them. Okay, this, and they got to be like, all right,
this makes no sense.
So when I date someone, I don't tell them I'm the love doctor. I'm a relationship coach. Because when they do know it, they start to become like
they're gonna change. They're
not change, but they become a little either distant or a little like quiet. Quiet. They'd be like, oh, she's watching what I'm saying, or
she's
like
picking apart every sentence I say.
Yeah, and I can understand that because I mean I can see right through certain behavior because I know every stage of dating. Mind you, I am a relationship coach, a dating coach, so I know where it starts and I know where it can end. So I see like, okay, we're at step 3 now, we're at step 4 now. So to me, it's also kind of annoying sometimes because I'm like, okay, so now he's gonna do this. Okay, so now.
So before he does it.
I mean, if he's cute, I'll let him.
This is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think about therapy for couples? Do you think it's something important?
I think for a lot of couples it's even necessary because it's when you're the neutral person, you're the third person they can talk to, and sometimes it's very important that people can just vent. Right. And the other person listens without interfering, and that's also it's a major problem that people don't let each other finish when they talk. They just listen to respond,
They're not listening to the whole sentence.
No. And just acknowledge what your partner is saying. Right. Like if you're saying like, I feel like you think I'm stupid. Your partner will say, I don't think you're stupid. Instead of saying, I don't think you're stupid, just tell them like, I feel bad that you feel that's how it makes you feel. Acknowledge what they say, repeat what they say so they feel heard.
Laser, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. I would like to ask the love doctor, right? Why do men always feel, or women always feel, they always have to be wrong and strong?
They have to be sorry?
Wrong and strong.
Wrong and strong.
Wrong
like when
and
you're talking
strong.
to them and tell them that this is how it's supposed to be, and they say, no, this is how it's supposed to be.
I think it has to do with media and social media. Like women can come over as wrong and strong and independent and knowing everything. So I think especially this generation, I think media and social media it educates people in a way that is not real. Everybody has to act like there's nothing wrong with you, that like you're strong and like you're empowered, everything. And women can come over on social media. Women especially can come over like they're strong and that like they know everything.
But men sometimes just do it because I've been in relationships often on the men just be like, no, I'm right and you wrong, and
Yeah, but that's because they don't have any other ammunition. They just want you to feel. They don't know how to tell you how they feel, so they're just like, you know what, you're wrong, I'm right. So when you have a conversation with someone and they tell you you're wrong and I'm right or whatever, and they can't explain to you why, just leave the conversation or ask them like, can you explain to me why you feel that I'm wrong so that I can understand your thoughts and your way of thinking.
Right now I'm in a relationship and I just tell my husband every time like, okay, you're right, don't with it.
Oh, when a man says that, it's like, you know what? I have a headache.
She's the one saying that you're right.
Oh, you're saying that. Yeah, but why do you say it? Because I feel like you're just.
Sometimes it's like an argument between the two of us. I just be like, you know what? You're right. Leave it alone. Just forget it.
Yeah, just so the.
Yeah, but like if you say that, you're not being honest as well.
One of us does sometimes do the same, but he does do it more than me, so I just leave it.
Yeah. You can also find another timing. You can say like, you know what, I'm not going to get into it now because I'm too emotional, or you're giving me a headache. Can I come back to you about that tomorrow?
Okay, I'll try that.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah. Like, and that's one thing, that I've learned also, in the past relationships and everything. When you're having an argument, it doesn't make sense when two people are arguing because no one's listening to each other.
Right.
You know, you say, you know what, right now is not the right time to talk about
Yes, you can
this.
be too emotional.
Or listen, I don't want to talk. You go your way, I go your way. But and then sometimes while you're away, you're thinking about it. You know what? I was wrong,
and
or I see where the point you were coming
well,
from.
this is something we just discussed compromise, right? You can also compromise if you are the bigger person at that time to say like, okay, you tell me what you want to say,
right?
I will listen to you, and we'll take another moment for me to respond to whatever you're saying and to tell you what I'm feeling,
right?
Because then the other person feels valued, and then you have something like, you know, I can tell him or her later what I have been feeling, you know. So then you pick it apart, you chop it up, and you're like, okay, we are really listening to each other, and that's compromising.
Wow. Do you feel that the relationship issues are different? I know you've been here for a short time, but different here in the Caribbean than in the Netherlands?
Like I said, I haven't heard anything about cheating. Like that's the number one topic everywhere I go. Like in the States, Suriname, even the UK, Netherlands, and over here it's like common knowledge. We don't want to know about cheating because everybody does it, you know. So that's the biggest difference out here.
I mean, it could be everybody does it, or it could also be the fact that a lot of people are in relationships and don't know that they are in a relationship as well. If you understand what I'm saying. Some people are just together just for the sex part, but one person might think, well, we're actually together, we're dating, but the other person might be like, no, it's just a fling, it's just something sexual,
right?
You know.
But I would say like the island is so small. Wouldn't you know, like whether you're in a relationship or not, or if your partner is seeing other people?
I think if you want to know, because sometimes if you don't want to know that information,
if you want to know,
then it all.
So
comes
it's
clear.
it's a little like knowledge, like common knowledge that people choose not to know.
Yeah.
So it is a culture here that people are like, you know what, I don't want to know if he cheats or she cheats or not. And that's what I've noticed from the time I'm here, that people don't even discuss it, don't even talk about it.
Well, even if him or her is cheating, they always come back to me, so it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, they just deal with it that way.
Yeah, they're very relaxed about it here, I think, in comparison to the other countries that
He comes by on the weekend, so that's fine enough for me.
Yeah.
He pays my phone bill.
Right. Stop good.
He got a nice car.
Yeah.
Good to have you here, man.
Yeah, it's good to have you
Where
here.
you found her, G?
Good to be here.
Actually, QT. Were you here when DJ QT came? Was he here?
Shout out to QT though.
Was I here?
Duncan brought her down, right?
Oh, that was some
years ago.
Duncan brought her down. She did some shows here. I think we're going back to the 5150 days.
Pretty much.
Wow.
So she hollered at me. She's like, I have a friend of mine on the island. You know, I get that all the time.
Yeah.
I get it like every day. Someone's like, hey, I got my cousin's here. My co-worker's here. And I never get to meet the people. So basically, I'll tell Outkast, okay, where you working this weekend? And Outkast will send me flyers and stuff of where he's working. I'll send them to people. Like Uncle Rick just texted me from Soul Beach. He's like, I got a bunch of girls coming down. Just, make sure. So anyway, long story short, I sent her some flyers. And I just like, boom, 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 boom. She was like, oh. And then we started conversating. She said she's a love doctor and yada, yada, yada. I said, okay, well, I think you'll be great for. I actually said she'd be great for the
morning show.
The morning show, but I say she ain't gonna have enough time.
I would have given her the whole 6
because I told her that. I said, you'll be great for the morning show. I said, wait a minute, are we doing anything for the Frukus? Because then we can go a longer period.
Well, I would love to come back. So if you guys would want me back, I would love to come back.
Sure. When you said you're coming back
in August.
Okay. Well, there you go.
You can do something.
Book it. Hopefully you can have something done, like maybe a seminar set up somewhere.
That's the plan.
Yeah,
that's the plan.
At the Whiteful building with Outkast DJ.
Whiteful, pasa.
Yeah, pasa.
Like plan,
barbecue, relationship, and dance.
Sounds like a plan. We were looking.
Barbecue, relationship, and dance.
We were looking for a name. I think we just found it.
We got it.
Barbecue relationship.
Yo.
At the Whiteful. DJ Outkast, DJ Blaze.
Oh my God.
But what do you look for in a guy though, or whoever you would like to date?
Ooh, that's a good question.
First of all, she probably rapes his brain and figures out everything he does and doesn't do, and analytical, and if he's a Scorpio, and if he wears blue, and
You know, that's the thing with me because I always analyze people.
See?
Like I can sit here and
I
do
can
this
see
show,
why you're not in a relationship.
and I already analyzed the three of you.
Oh boy.
Like, you know, so
give us
Even
your rating.
Outkast, who ain't saying much, you analyzed him.
What's your rating?
Just looked at him and you figured him out.
God, leave me out of this.
he doesn't want to know, so I'm not gonna
Yeah,
say.
leave me out of this, please.
Like,
Let us know. What
he
you
doesn't like to play EDM. I can see that.
But no, it's what I do. I analyze people. I observe. I analyze people.
That's scary, man.
I know, right?
That's
So-
like.
It is because, like I said, I know once I start dating someone, I know like, okay, this is how it starts. I can already see where it's going, and I can spot a liar from a distance because
Really?
I've heard every lie in the book. I have heard every lie in the book because, mind you, I also talk to people like my clients. So
Right.
So you know the lies. Yeah.
I know the
They're telling you the
lies.
lies.
They tell me what they do, and some
He
things.
said he was going bowling. Right?
I mean, some things are just they repeat things to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard this before,
Right.
or yeah, I've been there before. So, what am I looking for in a man? I mean, whoever can make me feel comfortable enough to just be myself, and to just have fun with me. And sometimes get me out of my comfort zone because, like I said, I'm a Virgo, So if you can make me feel like I can talk to you about everything,
Right.
you're going to be my best friend. And I think the person that I'm dating has to be my best friend first.
I think that's with every relationship.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't
do that.
overlook that.
Right, that's true.
They be like, okay, he has this and that and that. He has everything in the list. And not the best friend part because they don't know what a best friend is.
Yeah. Because you have a lot of relationships where the couples, they're not talking to each other.
Right.
But they have someone on the outside, they tell everything too. And that's where,
Right.
Yeah.
And then at first sight, they seem to match perfectly because they're both successful, both look good. They have their lives together,
Right.
but they're not friends. So I will always ask people, like, person be your best friend. Would you hang with this person if you weren't in a relationship?
Right.
And a lot of times they would say like, no, I don't think so. He or she is much different than the friends I actually have. And then I'm like, you know what? Then there's your problem. Because you're not always going to go through good times.
Right.
It's the bad times that will show you if your partner is the right partner.
Okay, so here's a question. We had a discussion on the air not too long ago. What do you say about relationships when the relationship where they what's the word I'm looking for? Where this is mine and that's mine. Like, okay, that's mine, this is yours, don't touch mine because you touched yours already. We had a discussion
Yeah, we did.
last week.
I think it was Monday or last week. Yeah, it wasn't too long
So I had
ago.
two of my colleagues that they're in a kind of a relationship like that. And I thought that was like really like, for me it's a little bit shocking. I was like, huh?
Well, what do you mean with touch? Like, touch what?
Maybe you can explain better than me, Suppa.
Okay, the example was, I don't mind sharing. If I buy something, I don't mind sharing. But when you buy something and then the other person,
You're talking about food. Okay, so
right.
listen. So,
food or any object.
okay, so
whatever, yeah.
I know friends of mine are listening, so they know that I would be lying if I would tell them, if I would give them the politically correct answer,
Right.
because personally, there's a death penalty if you touch my food.
Okay, that's a
Do not
I don't know.
touch
They
my
just high-fived each other.
Do not touch my food.
Right.
So
And we
isn't
have-
that bad for a
And we
relationship?
have no issue sharing. But
No,
let
I
me
can
know.
buy you
Okay, you see what
whatever
I
you
said? You see
want.
what I said, G? If
I
you
can
want it,
get
I will
you
buy. I have
whatever
no
you want.
issue.
You can even have all of mine. Just do not touch my food while I'm eating it, or
Really?
get your paws in my food, because
Right.
then I don't want it no more.
Okay, man.
What do you say about this, Outkast?
Stay far
staying
away.
out of this.
He's not saying nothing.
Leave me
He's,
out of
I
this.
see him shaking his head though. I see him nodding.
He's shaking his head a little bit, right?
me out of this.
Outkast be like, what am I doing
Outkast like,
here?
that's my iced tea. Don't touch
Leave
my
me
iced
out
tea.
of this.
Yes.
You have your own iced tea. This is my iced tea.
Yeah, and I've had discussions about it, and there's like, oh, you're greedy. It's not that I'm greedy,
No,
but
no,
it's
no.
that's It's mine.
No.
And if you want, I would give you some.
And especially when it comes to chicken for me.
Chicken? Wow.
Especially when it comes to chicken for me.
Right.
Let's take a phone call. Laser, good afternoon.
Before you start to make me sound bad, right?
Hey, Rama, what's up?
Before you start to make me sound bad.
Right.
Right? So, first of all, good afternoon to the Love Doctor.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
So, I am the colleague that G-Money is talking about. Earlier this week, we had a conversation, we had a discussion where it was brought up that, you know, in a relationship, it is nice and all cute and dandy to share, but it's also good to you have yours and I have mine.
Right.
G-Money thought that I was speaking like I wanted to murder somebody because he can't believe that I was saying this and Super Kid was in agreement with me. So,
well, I am too.
I am trying to tell him, if we share, we have less of whatever we are sharing. Let me buy whatever you want for you.
Exactly.
And I will buy whatever I want for me. If you wanted what I had, you would have told me, and I would get you your own. Don't take what's mine.
And I think you're an even better partner by communicating that, because you communicate what you want. You're not just playing a part and compromise when you don't feel good about it. You just say like, you know what, I don't want to share with you.
Right.
So I'm gonna buy you your own.
Right. Well, what about if you get an item that has, let's say, 10 in total, and you split it? Split it half. Here, 5 for you, 5 for me.
That's cool.
But if your 5 is done, that's on you.
It's the same thing.
Right.
It's the same thing.
I tell my wife, I say, listen, if you want, let me know. I'll get you your own, and I'll get my own. If you want some of mine, you let me know that we're buying it to share.
Right.
You know?
I mean, I can only agree with you. I'm
Exactly.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I was speaking to Outkast just a few minutes before the show, and I was telling Outkast this, and Outkast watched me like, I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best. He was looking at me as if I was a colonizer like him. I'm sorry. He was watching me as if I was the worst person in the world.
Yeah.
I was like, but it's simple. Like, you have yours, because I was explaining him having your own space in a committed relationship is very important.
Right.
You know, just like how you guys were saying for the lockdown. You know, people were together for so long, they weren't accustomed to that, and there were all these domestic cases or whatever the case may be. You know, so say having your own space in a relationship is very important, because when you have your own space, you have your own time to yourself, and then once you're finished with that, then you withdraw yourself, then you commit yourself back to your partner, and you guys share your space or whatever the case may be.
I agree with you with that, your own space.
But it doesn't matter whether you're in a relationship or not. You know, you have to respect each other's boundaries.
Right.
You have to respect each other's boundaries. Your boundaries don't go out the window once you're in a relationship, especially when you're in a relationship. You have to set your own boundaries, because you don't want to end up being unhappy. And it could be something simple like not wanting to share your food, but it goes way deeper than that. It's you saying, like, this is not making me comfortable. This is not wanting to make me eat my food the way I want to eat my food.
And I agree with you with the chicken wings. The chicken.
Yo.
I agree with you 100%.
Me and chicken, no, don't touch that.
Super, we need to bring her in for additional.
Yeah, right. Let's get rid of Spoon. She'll be the new co-host.
Hey, thanks.
All right, man.
All right, bro.
All right, guys.
Later.
Yeah. Because I'm the type of person, I respect your things. I don't touch anybody's things. It's not mine. And if it is, I will ask. You know, so I think that's what happens in a lot of relationships. People expect a lot of things, and then when it's not given, that's what causes a lot of problems as well. And that's why you said communicate.
Yes, and it's serious to you. It might not be serious to another person, but something that's not serious to you, you have to take it serious as well. So we take food real serious, you know. So don't touch our food.
Is Rumba Virgo too?
He's an Aries.
Oh. Same thing, Virgo, Aries.
Yeah, same thing. Okay, it's a food thing.
Yeah.
All right. More power to the chicken. All right. Well, it's great having you here, Nicole. And hopefully when you come back. I don't know why I keep saying Nicole for. I don't know why I keep saying Nicole. Monique.
That's a cheater. Is he here? You can't remember the name.
Say the wrong name, I'm asleep.
You see, so I already know where this is going.
Oh, you see?
You were at step 5, so I already know, like, okay.
Oh, it's like that?
Time to wrap it up. Where's the next one?
So actually, that is a bad sign in a dating relationship. Somebody calls you the wrong name.
It depends. So I would ask, like, who's Nicole? Because maybe someone whose name is Nicole just texted. Maybe it's his sister and just texted. I have that too. You know, that I answer with the text that somebody is telling me. But also that might be a bad sign because he's texting during
he's texting Nicole
during the day.
Laser, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I got one question for her. What's her opinion on Petropolis relationship where one guy is with 2 girls at the same time and the girls are with each other?
Whoa.
What's my opinion on a guy being with 2 girls and the girls are together?
Yes, like the whole relationship, all of them are in the relationship together.
Okay, and everybody's happy?
Yes, and everybody's happy.
I would say have a drink and have a ball.
Yeah.
Because apparently, because I had a discussion at work a few months ago whereby a co-worker man was considered that cheating. But I'm saying, how is it cheating if everybody's happy together and everybody enjoy each other?
What do you care about what other people think if you guys are happy?
It's the Caribbean.
Yeah, I've noticed, but no, just be happy. Don't Don't talk to those people no more. If you're happy, you have more than enough women. You have 2, so you're good. You know.
He's more than good.
You're more than good. So why would I mean? Would you want to change something?
No.
Does their opinion make you feel bad?
Nope.
Okay, then I would say power to you.
He gets a bell ring. Thanks for calling.
All right.
What about how do couples deal with jealousy in relationships?
Jealousy.
How do they deal with it?
What's the best way to deal with it?
The best way to deal with it is again communicate. Ask them about why. Where does it come from? How does it make you feel? So don't just tell them don't just say I don't like it. How does it make you feel? Go into depth because then you will find out where it comes from.
Now, when you say how does it make you feel, what do you mean? You the person who is jealous is asking how does it make you feel?
The person who is not jealous. So you're asking the person who is jealous. How does it make you feel?
Okay.
Because when you ask them how it makes them feel, then the feelings come up.
Okay.
So sometimes people are angry and not upset, but angry. And then you go deeper into that. Why does it make you angry? And the deeper you go, the more you know of where it came from. And sometimes it's just the point of reference. This is what I've seen my mom and dad do. And this is what I know. So I know that I have to be jealous. I don't know why, but I know that my mom always used to be jealous, so I need to be jealous too. Or it could be that they have been in a relationship where the man or the woman, made them jealous, made them feel all those things, and then they see it with another person again, and
they
automatically remembers them. So go into the feelings. Ask them why do you feel like that? Go, that's the only care you can give.
Peel back
why?
the layers.
Again, communication.
Communication.
Number 1 on the list.
Yes, sir.
Survey says.
All right.
Well, thank you once again for the 3rd time.
Thank you.
Outkast.
I had fun.
We're playing all relationship songs.
Outkast, you don't have one question?
I'm good. This, please.
Okay, so when a new DJ comes and asks to borrow my Serato, what should I do?
You've actually seen me do that.
No questions, Outkast?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
What about marriage? Because you have a lot of relationships where one person wants to get married, and the other one is like, "Listen, let's take it, step by step."
I mean, I think if one person wants to get married and the other person doesn't, then you have to realize maybe you're not in the right relationship. Or you have to talk about it and see okay, can we take it step by step? Maybe you will change your mind about marriage, but the other person has to know that maybe I won't change my mind. Then what?
Right.
So the communication really starts from the beginning. You have to know from the get-go, do you want to have kids?
Right.
Do you want to stay in this country? Because I come from another country. I might go back to that country.
Right.
What do you think about that? Important things, but people are afraid to ask because they're like, no, I come over too strong when I start talking about kids and families. But there are ways to talk about that. You don't have to be like, yo, You want to have kids? You can be like, you know?
You want to get breed?
Do you have kids? Do you have kids in the family? Do your brothers and sisters have kids? What do you think about kids and stuff? You know, you can bring it in a light, relaxed manner, but then you would know how the other person thinks about kids.
Now, let's say if the person does want kids, but they're just not ready, and then you have the other partner.
Who's not ready?
Let's say the guy is being asked by the girl, listen, I want kids, and I want kids by such and such age. And the guy's like,
that's a lot of
I'm not saying me, but I'm just saying it happens. And the guy,
it happens a lot, actually.
Yeah, and the guy is like, okay, but I'm not ready as yet. I want to have kids, but I think there's so much more that we could probably do together, or there's so much more I want to accomplish first before I have, or before.
Because your life changes when you have kids.
Yeah. It does, and you have to either accept the fact that the other person's timing is different than yours, or just, don't start with the person at all. True. It's a choice, but it's always your choice. So you can't blame the other person later on, like, hey, I wanted to have kids, I thought you wanted to have kids, and I thought you would take like 3 years,
right?
But it takes 10 years now. Be clear about your wishes and know that someone else's timing doesn't have to be your timing.
True.
I want to get married. I want my Dutch passport. I don't think we're ready for that.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's honest, though. It's honest.
They're communicating.
They're communicating.
And if you're willing to do that, then all power to you.
I mean, all the 90 days fiancé things, that's where they come from. Just being open and honest.
True. Okay. All right, Outkast, you ready to play some relationship songs?
I got music lined up. Just
Anyway, once again, Monique, thanks for stopping by, and hopefully next month we'll have you back. And once again, your Instagram for people to hit you up.
I am Monique Young.
Monique Young.
You can find it on your story as well.
Oh yes, you did. Yes, you tagged us on Laser 101's Instagram story.
Oh yes.
If you go to our Instagram story,
you'll find me.
Yeah, she posted a picture and she tagged. She puts her. You just tag and you can find her Instagram. Anyway, 3:29. We are feeling fine on this Feel Good Friday. We're gonna pause for the cause. Pay some bills. We come back. We got the cut creator DJ Outkast. Keep it right here, y'all. It's Laser 101.